So today we are going to do a video on root control bags, and a few years ago I decided to try them out. So the ground here is a bit sandy, hard to plant trees in the ground and then dig them out and have a nice compact root system. So I planted about 1,000 trees in, or close to that, in these different types of grow bags. This one here, I've already started the process of removing it, but we're going to go through the process of what you do when you want to remove these and the timing of that. This may be a little bit early for the removal from the grow bag, but I'm at the point where I'm pulling my trees out of the ground and out of the bags and into containers, and they can finish off in the containers if they're not quite ready yet. So the advantages of root control bags, you can put it in a bag for a few years, and if you think you might be moving the tree, they're fairly easy to move. You can use a spade. I use these steel handled spades or other types of shovels, and one person, two people very easily can just use leverage to, dig this tree out of the ground. It just lifts right out of the ground. But it's better if they're fully rooted into the container. The roots will grow through the bag, and there's different manufacturers of the bags, and some of the bags allow the roots to grow through, and they either grow into the ground and you have to cut them off, or they'll end up root pruning themselves, girdling here at the fabric, and then creating a denser root system on the inside of the bag. So that's one advantage. You could use these bags if you wanted to put this in a container and then put some mulch around it like bark, and grow it in a container like a wood planter box or a ceramic type pot, and leave it in there for a number of years. And timing will just be on you could probably get as much as 5 years or more of growth in a container, and then you have to repot it again, and you could strip it down and then put it back in the pot again, or put it in a larger size pot. So there's a couple advantages that way. Much easier to move than trying to carve a root ball out of the ground, especially in most average residential yards. It's rocky, and the soil falls apart, and it's not easy to carve a nice root ball. But this, you can use regular soil. I would recommend using soil that doesn't have rocks in it, just to make it easier. The rocks don't hurt anything. It's just easier to deal with that. Or you can use a bark media, but I'd use a little heavier media, like a combination of soil and bark, which I don't recommend for the pots that we're growing here. But this year is growing in the soil that we had here in the ground, and so that's one advantage, because you don't have to water as much either. So we're gonna get started here. I've got a few tools that I use to kind of peel this away, and we'll see what we've got. So got a razor knife here. If you use this, there's also have some really heavy duty shears, and we're going to break those out here in a minute. And my pruners. I'll just use a variety of tools. So we're going to peel this back. Soil's nice and moist, and it holds together at this time of the year too. So as you're doing this, it's good if you see it starting to loosen up a little bit, just pack it with your hands. I get another cut right here. Okay. Holding together really nicely. I use, let me get this one peeled down as well. Don't slice your hand when you're doing this. So there's roots grabbing onto the fabric as you peel it down. You can use your knife. You could improvise with different things. A lot of times I'll just take my pruners and snip these roots, and you can feel where they're coming through. There was a bigger one right there. You could feel it pull away. Some of the finer roots, they'll just break, and that's perfectly fine. I don't mind if we lose the soil at the bottom, and I think that's probably the way I'm going to do it, handle this particular one. But I'm going to get these loosened first. I can see a little bit of separation there, so pack that together. A couple different things. I've used small shovels. I use these bread knives just to slice through the, I'm just slicing right through the bottom of the container here. You can feel those roots as it's going through, the resistance that it's offering.
Slice of cake.
Yeah, looks delicious, huh? Most of the roots are gone now. I can feel one big one right there. See how much. I know there's a few roots still hanging on there, so which are perfectly fine, but I don't want to pull on it really hard, then it starts to fall apart. Okay. I think we're loose there. Now there's a little bit of root there, so I'll just keep that together like that. If the root mass is filled this up, and there's a more of a root mass in here, it'll hold everything together better. So these are coming out a little bit earlier than I would like, but I need to get on with growing these on, and I'm not going to let them. They'll grow into this pot back here. I'm going to use a 5-gallon pot like this right here. It's got a little bit of potting media in the bottom of it, and I am going to add a little more media to that. Once I get in there, I'd like to leave it without taking it out multiple times, because it is a little bit loose, and once I get it down in there. Okay, so we've got a pretty nice firm root ball there. Now it's just a matter of finishing off with some of my potting mix, which is bark and perlite, packing it down in there. And this could, I could sell this as long as I tell whoever's buying it that it probably should stay in this pot for at least one more growing season. So we're going to, I'm going to drop a little bit. Oh, this is what I was looking for. A little bit of bark. And I'm going to put a scoop. That was finer bark. I'd like a little more drainage in there, so I'm going to put this perlite in there and kind of poke that down into the pot as well. Probably better to use a bamboo stake, or I've got some metal stakes right here, but I'm just gonna poke this down. You can use your hands as well. Pack the soil in there. You can feel that it'll pack down and get the air out of there. Smooth that off, and I can top dress it a little bit later. So this will grow on, and so what I think about grow bags, I think they're useful. There's different types. Root Pouch is a brand name that I think is pretty reliable. They're used on big commercial sites, and I think you can find them on Amazon. You might check those out if you have interest in using those in your pots or using them in the ground to control your plants and being able to dig them at a later date. So I'm not sorry that I use the root bags, but I'm having to cut it short a little bit, mainly because of the timing with starting to reduce my inventory over the next few years, and just slow down a little bit. I always am going to stay involved with conifers and plants, and that's what I enjoy doing, but I might slow down a little bit as far as the volume that I've been doing lately. So I hope you enjoyed that, or if you have questions, drop them down in the comments. I try to answer all of them, and until the next time, we'll see you then, and happy gardening.